afternoon. I'm Sheila Maria. I am a psychic medium. It is truly wonderful to be with you. And I wanted to do a video today about things that nobody and spiritual teachers will often not tell you about your abilities. So I don't just want to make this about being a light worker, because I believe we're all light workers. I am specifically making this for people that get frustrated with their abilities. I have been a medium for 16 years and I have just signed up with another amazing mentor, and I will never stop learning. I will never stop trying to be the best medium that I can be. But I do train people from all walks of life at all different levels, and these are some of the things that very often mediums and spiritual teachers won't tell you. So the first thing that mediums will often not admit to you is that they don't see loved ones with their naked eye. Hi, John. Very often, certainly platform mediums will see people with their naked eye, but sometimes they don't. Sometimes they actually feel the person at a distance and they see the person in their third eye, but they often don't tell people that. I don't know why. I don't do platform work. It's just something that I have observed. So the other thing that you will often find spiritual teachers or psychics don't tell you is that they get it wrong. Because to admit that they get it wrong, they often fear that it invalidates everything else that they've said. I've actually, mentioning no names, criticising nobody, I have seen excellent mediums get it blatantly wrong, especially where people, where missing children are concerned. And, they never refer to that. And if they are referred to, they're called a fake. And it doesn't mean they are a fake. Everybody gets it wrong sometimes. And being right or wrong is a perspective. I remember a prediction I was given that was very upsetting several years ago. And that prediction is probably going to come true, but I couldn't admit it at the time because it hurt too much. And at that point, I labelled the person who gave me that prediction as wrong, but that was my perspective at a time. Hi, John. So which program are you talking about? The mediumship program? Or are you talking about the, I'll come to that in a minute, because I'm also recording this for YouTube, so I'm not going to mix the two. So other things that mediums, psychics and spiritual teachers won't admit to you is that there are times that we cannot hear our own guides, that we might be really focused on helping others and we might have the capacity to do that. Our own life might be very painful and we may not be able to hear our own guidance. That's very common. It's happened to me several times. Hi, Michelle. So another thing that spiritual teachers, psychics and mediums will often not tell you is that their life is unhappy. Even though they are gifted, even though they are a medium, even though they are, whatever they are, that they're unhappy, that their relationship isn't perfect, or, that their marriage isn't perfect, or they've got debts, or that they've got an addiction, right? Hey, Jennifer, you need to book your extra sessions with me. Okay, so another thing that spiritual teachers, mediums, light workers and what have you will often not tell you is that you will never feel that you are talented enough for people that rely on you. When you've got people relying on you because they're grieving, I know this is something I have had a spate of recently, is lovely, lovely people grieving. And even though, you know, their loved ones have come in, I haven't felt like it was enough. And you can feel like, you know, you're not good enough. And when you see some of, okay, the other thing that they will often not tell you, or that will not happen, this isn't just about what mediums won't tell you, it's about what will often not happen, is just because you can channel, just because you are a clairvoyant, it doesn't mean you're going to stand on a stage. It doesn't mean you're going to write a book. And even if you write a book like mine, it doesn't mean you're going to be successful. Okay? Just because you are clairvoyant definitely doesn't mean you will see what you feel you need to see in advance in your own life. So you still get curveballs, you still get surprises. You will also find that just because you've got a heart of gold and you really, really, really want to help people, you may find that nobody wants your help. The amount of light workers that I think are amazing, and they put a website up and they don't get any clients, and they think there's something wrong with them because they don't get any clients. And I try saying to them, it's not because you're not amazing. It's because, quite frankly, people want to be told what's going to happen. And any light worker worth their salt is not going to do that. Most of the time, you're not going to do that. So that is something that, you know, you can train, you can develop, you can. I will actually tell you, I actually got approached for a mediumship reading by somebody that didn't realise she'd mentored me about 10 years ago. And I'm like, you don't recognise me, do you? She didn't recognise me. And there are a lot of mediums that have gone out of business, and it's not because they're not talented, it's just because you have to be so bloody minded to make a living at it. And you know, most light workers don't feel that they should charge money, and the problem is with that is if you don't charge, people don't respect what you give. I remember training somebody many years ago from a different country who had a chip on their shoulder because they would give mediumship readings to their neighbours and their neighbours' friends, and they didn't take the advice. But he wasn't charging. This person, it was actually in Japan, that they weren't charging, and so of course people didn't really take what he said seriously. So that's another thing that people don't realise. So another question I often get asked is, you will probably never entirely know what your purpose is. You might think you know what your purpose is, and then usually just as you think you know what it is, it becomes unclear again. If you'd have told me I would soon be offering, you know, mediumship sessions, I wouldn't have told you, because although I do mediumship an awful lot, it's not something I have loved until recently. It's not something I found natural until this year. So I wouldn't have believed that. I would not have believed that if you'd have told that to me. So you're never really going to know what your purpose is, and there will never be anyone that can tell you what your purpose is. They can give you titles like you're this kind of soul, you're that kind of soul. Nobody's ever going to be able to tell you what your purpose is, unless perhaps they've got pink glitter in their hair. Then perhaps. So another thing that can happen for light workers is that they really, really want to create massive change in the world. And you know, they have either got an invention or there is some work that they're doing that is really going to make a difference to the world if it is funded or discovered, or they want to open a sanctuary for animals or abused children, and they never get the resources from spirit to do that. And they're like, if I'm here and saying to the universe, I want to help people, why doesn't the universe give me the means to help? You know, because if I didn't have to work 9 to 5, I would help those animals or that sector of society that needs me. why can't I open my healing centre? So that often happens as well. Now, the reasons for that are usually, if you're supposed to actually open a healing centre, it will be in your pre-life plan. Hi, Lisa. Hi, darling. And so I know somebody, well, I don't know him, he certainly doesn't know me, somebody called Julian Baber, I think his name is, and he has opened, he lives off grid, he's a lovely man, he's definitely, I would say, a fractal of Yeshua, and he's opened like it's not a retreat centre, it's like a centre for the people where he lives, which is off grid, and I think it's like Peru or somewhere like that. And he's done that on a shoestring. Nobody's given him like £20,000 to do that, but the reason he's done that is because it was in his plan. So, you know, there are things that just because we're a light worker, it doesn't mean your life is going to be any easier. And the scope with which you can help others, I'm going to say bluntly, is always, this is the one thing that is absolute, the scope to which you can help others is equal to the investment that you make in yourself in terms of consciousness, okay? Doesn't mean that you have to spend money on yourself, right? Or it doesn't mean that you have to meditate every day for 3 hours. It doesn't have to be a financial investment. But if you are not growing broader in your understanding of yourself and taking more risks, right, getting bigger, getting broader, getting more bootylicious spiritually, you will have less and less to help others. Like, use it or lose it. So for me, that has been one of the reasons why I am an avid student, and I will, if there is a mentor that I resonate with, I won't hesitate to book with them and to develop myself, even if it's going to cost me money that I may not have. I'll do it because I know that I'm going to benefit, and then other people benefit because I've benefited. It's not why I do it. I do it because, you know, I'm definitely OCD when it comes to learning. So the one thing I want to say to all of you is, if you're, by the way, psychic abilities will only be evident nowadays. Yes, Lisa, darling, I know. Psychic abilities often get put on hold, and it doesn't matter how many courses you do, your psychic abilities get no stronger if it's not at the right time in your life to do so. I'm working with someone that I worked with 6 years ago, and she said to me, she says, oh my God, your energy is very different. Still not quite sure what she meant by that, but she said, your energy is so different. And I said, I wasn't ready then, I'm ready now. And it's just my energy that has changed. Yes, Marianne, at the right time. If I've been doing mediumship since the day my little girl got really sick in April. That's when the mediumship opened up for me again. And you know, my mentor said it's often at times when you're absolutely up against it that the world of spirit opens for you. So yes, I believe anyone can learn to hear spirit, but I also believe that there's a right time and a wrong time. I wouldn't have said that to you prior to April this year, but you know, mediumship is becoming a massive part of my work. It is like the biggest part of my work away from these little lives I'm doing. And I've seen I am going to be a face-to-face medium in years to come, and I never would have thought that, and it was actually only Monday I was told that I will be doing platform mediumship. Never would have said that. Anybody who knows me knows I never would have said that. So there's a right time and there's a wrong time. So my message here is, if you're a light worker and it seems as though things are not manifesting, things are going wrong, things are not happening in the way that, you know, you've been told that they will, or you believe that they should, and you're like, my God, I've been working on myself endlessly. Please know, all of a sudden, if it's meant to be, it will be, and getting frustrated doesn't do any good. Getting pink glitter in your hair, especially you, John, does help, definitely. But when it's the right time, you will be the light worker you came here to be, because it's in your contract. So if you want some help with that, one of the ways in which you get blocked is through karmic energy. Because what karmic energy does is it acts as a catalyst for our greatest growth. And most of the karmic energy that we are held back by, we bring in through our mother and our father. So it's the effect our mother and father's energy had upon us. Hi, Abuelita. Abuelita, go back and listen to this, because I think this is going to be of interest to you. All right, so go back to the beginning and start again. The mother and father energy, so unintegrated father karma prevents you from receiving. I've only just got to the end of my father karma line, right? And I'm 50. And I've been doing this for 16 years. So I have been developing for probably 17 years. I've been working professionally, I would say, for probably 14 years. So it's taken 14 years for me to be where I am. And I've just signed up with my mentor again, okay? I've probably had in excess of 13 mentors over the years. Easy, if not more. So what the father karma energy does, it stops you from receiving anything. Stops you from receiving money. It stops you. It's literally like, and you can love your father very much, but it's the father energy. If you've got unresolved father energy, it will stop you. It will stop you from developing. It will stop you from being as successful as you could otherwise be. The unresolved mother energy, the energy through your mother's genealogy, stops you from giving. So if you are wanting to give, I don't know, mediumship readings, or if you are wanting to be able to afford to give people money or give people healing or give people support, you will be limited by that if you have got unresolved karmic energies. And everybody has karmic energies when they come into the earth plane. Everybody. Even a day old baby. And obviously I don't say that lightly. Thank you, Lisa. Well, my new mediumship course is going to be much more in depth than that. So in the mediumship course I'm doing, it won't be a group course. It will be one-to-one. It will be based on people doing, you know, evidential mediumship, causes of death, last names, where people live, that kind of thing. It's going to be like really factual, old school, because people need a lot of support at the minute, and that's what I think I'm here to do, and that's what I want certain other people to do. So look out for my mediumship class that I'll be launching later this year. I'm not doing it yet. I'm doing it later this year. I've got my own journey to go through, and then I will be launching that later this year. So I'm gonna just remind you all, I've got a class on the 2nd of July. Spirit Centre is being disbanded. The class on the 2nd of July is clearing family karma. So I teach you how to clear karma. You also get a mini reading. You also get full PDF support and a recording of the call. If you are an existing student with me, or you have been an existing student, you get it for £55. So there is a post on that somewhere on my page. It'll be down there, I guess. I'm gonna just pull a couple of cards because I've got to go make my lovely husband's tea. So you don't have to be live for that, Lisa, no. I'm going to say lots of love and thank you to everyone on YouTube. I love you, I love you, I love you. Go visit my website, sheilamaria.com/my services. The prices are going up tomorrow. Lots of love. Bye for now, YouTube.